Now, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video, and please welcome back once again to my channel. Just in case you are here for the first time and you do love politics, I just want to assure you that this is the best platform for all the political activities that are currently happening across the country, for the political updates and also for the best political analysis. So kindly support me by subscribing, and also don't forget to press the notification bell so that you can receive the notifications from YouTube every time I upload a video on this channel. Otherwise, to my returning subscribers, to my loyal viewers, and to my supporters who are currently watching this, I also want to really appreciate you so much for your continued support, because without that support, this channel could never be where it is currently. So feel very much welcome, and I don't take your support for granted. Now let us go straight into our critical analysis for today without wasting much time. And Raila Amolo Odinga, who in my considered opinion is too much afraid of President William Samoei Ruto, was forced to postpone again his mass actions here in Nairobi County until 20th of March 2023. So literally, what Raila Odinga did during yesterday's press conference, if you happened to follow, Raila Odinga issued another 10 days ultimatum to President William Ruto to fulfill his demands or to respond back to his new demands, because of course Raila Odinga is talking about the high cost of living, is talking about the overtaxation, is talking about the importation of GMOs, which was not in the previous 14 days ultimatum that he had issued to William Ruto. He's talking about the Kenya Kwanza Alliance appointing the new IEBC commissioners or officials, because William Ruto had to make that step simply because Raila Odinga had refused to participate. And of course, you cannot force somebody to participate in an event, in a democratic event actually, because in democracy, everybody has a chance to participate, but you cannot force somebody, not unless you want to be a dictator. So that is why William Ruto had to go ahead to appoint the panel, the 7-member panel, to take over, to initiate the appointment of the new IEBC officials. Of course, Raila Odinga is talking about the Cherera 4 of the IEBC, who were recently kicked out by President William Ruto, who fired them recently. Of course, Raila Odinga did not talk about that issue in the previous 14 days ultimatum. And also, Raila Odinga is talking about the judicial capture, which he did not talk about in the previous 14 days ultimatum. So let me just read for you. But before I read for you this statement by a certain political analyst here on Twitter, who is also a fan of mine, I just want to give you the reason as to why Raila Odinga had to postpone or did not make any difference in yesterday's press conference. Remember that if you look at what Raila Odinga was talking about yesterday during that press conference, you could simply tell that there's no difference of what Raila Odinga was talking about in his mass action with what he has been conducting, the anti-Ruto demonstrations that he has been conducting across the country. There's no difference actually. It did not make any of the difference, because today Raila Odinga is going to Kisii County to call for anti-Ruto demonstrations, which he has been doing all along. And also, Raila Odinga had to postpone the mass action, which he calls the mass action, but in my considered opinion, it's anti-Ruto demonstrations here in Nairobi to 20th March 2023. So when it will reach that time of 20th of March 2023, what Raila Odinga will do is that he will now call, using the term mass action, a rally in one of his grounds here in Nairobi. Maybe he can call in Jacaranda Stadium or someplace in Kibera here for the anti-Ruto demonstration. But in his heart, or in what he will say, he will call it the mass action. So what Raila Odinga has done, literally, he has changed the name from Baraza, Public Baraza, to mass action, but it is the same thing. So let me just read for you what Raila Odinga had to say briefly. He's saying that we launch a campaign. Let me just show you on the screen. We launch a campaign of defiance, peaceful protest, boycotts, strike, disobedience, peaceful petitions, sit-ins, and demonstrations. It begins today and now. Immediately, Raila Odinga had to post that statement, or he had to make that statement, Professor Kithure Kindiki, who is in charge of security, had to react immediately. Let me just show you what Kindiki did to Raila Odinga. He warned Raila Odinga strictly on his well-planned mass action. He's saying that any person, regardless of their rank in society, who threatens to forcibly access security facilities or intimidate officers on duty will be dealt with firmly, ruthlessly, and decisively in accordance with the law. But there is this guy who is also a political analyst of mine who is saying that these tactics that Raila Odinga is using for mass action was used in the 2017, and the formation of the Movements for Democratic Defense, or the MDD, is the same script with the NRM, the National Resistance Movement, which was led by Miguna, and which later on led to Raila Odinga being sworn in as the people's president. So what we expect from 20th of March, Raila Odinga will now announce his swearing in as the people's president. He has not changed the script at all. That is, somebody who was talking about that issue. So let me just hear what you think about this guy. But the reason as to why President William Ruto will not give in to Raila Amolo Odinga's demands, he will not do that because President William Ruto will know how he is. He is too much fearless, and he does not fear Raila Amolo Odinga at all. So first of all, in my considered opinion, William Ruto will not respond back to Raila Odinga's demands because William Ruto has already ruled out the possibility of the handshake completely. What Raila Odinga is currently doing, he just wants to sell the intimidation, he wants to sell fear and threats to President William Ruto so that he can be called and be offered a position in the Kenya Kwanza Alliance government or in William Ruto's government through the handshake. That is what he wants to do. Even if he does not want a handshake, there are some political interests in the positions that he wants in the Kenya Kwanza Alliance government. But William Ruto is not ready to offer that. Politics is all about interest. I personally believe that William Ruto has already talked with Raila Amolo Odinga. Yeah, that's the fact. And that Raila Odinga or William Ruto or Raila Odinga have sent their people, their allies, to go and initiate talks. But they failed to agree because what William Ruto stand is, he will not agree the opposition to be in the government because we have that experience whereby the opposition in the previous Jubilee regime was brought into the government and we saw what happened. The high cost of living, there was no opposition, there were frustration, other allies were being kicked out, others were forcefully frustrated and intimidated, and such issues. That is what William Ruto will not allow. He wants a strong opposition in his government so that they can keep him in check. So what Raila Odinga is currently doing basically is just conducting his personal duties as the opposition leader. So there's no need of him coming to the government to be offered a position. Let him do his work in the opposition. What will not agree, he has the right to demonstrate. He has the right to call for the mandamus and the mass actions that he is talking about. But what William Ruto will not agree in his government is people's properties to be destroyed, people's properties to be touched on by the peaceful demonstrations. But Raila Odinga has promised that it will be peaceful demonstrations and he will conduct the rallies in a certain area. So it is what Raila Odinga has been doing so far, calling for anti-Ruto demonstration across the country. Secondly, William Ruto will not give in to Raila Odinga's demands or needs because he simply needs a strong opposition. Just like what I had said it earlier, Ron, that William Ruto requires a very strong opposition in his government so that it can keep him in check, so that it can oppose what the government is doing and basically do the functions of the opposition. Those in the government should work with the government. should initiate the development projects for the people who had elected them, but those in the opposition side should carry out their functions, their duties in the opposition side. And also, William Ruto, remember that he cannot buy fear, he cannot buy intimidations and the threats that Raila Odinga is currently doing. I remember Raila Odinga did the same thing in the 2017, and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was very much fearful, was frightened so much about Raila Odinga. He had to run to go and look for Raila Odinga to call for an handshake. But William Ruto is not going to do that. William Ruto is not going to buy fear. I remember majority of the Azimio la Umoja Alliance supporters and leaders are saying that Raila Odinga pressed Moi so much and he had to give in. And William Ruto is no match to Raila Odinga. The country of Kenya is too much peaceful, in my considered opinion. We are a peaceful nation. That is why the people of the Republic of Kenya, the normal residents, wananchi, can interact with all the communities across the country. Me as a Luo, or somebody as a Luo or a Luya, me as a Kalenjin, me as a Kamba, I can interact with any other tribe here in Kenya. We can talk, we can assist one another. The only person who is frustrating this country, the only person who does not want peace in our country and is causing a lot of tension by issuing threats and intimidations is none other than Raila Amolo Odinga. Only one person. Let's say Raila Odinga had not complained. Let's say if Raila Odinga had decided to concede the defeat of the previous 2022 general elections, this country would be peaceful. Maybe even the high cost of living would have been brought down a little bit. But because of these anti-Ruto demonstrations, that is what, if he proceeds, if he continues doing these mass actions and the rest, then I don't think, if there will be chaos and interruptions and violence, I don't know if without peace there is development. That is my personal consideration. I don't know what you think. Let me hear you out on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I don't have much to add on. Until next time, my name is Json, but please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye bye.